You already know my name, but I'll say it again for you. It's Shaniqua Cannon, and I am a colleague of yours here in the Language Arts Department at Young Women's Preparatory Academy. Now, in my studies, I have discovered a few things that could help us with engaging our students. Now, you know the teacher lounge talk of how the students are unmotivated and unengaged in our lessons. Well, in my study, starting with my reading of The Brain-Based Learning by Eric Jensen, I found that students need novel learning. They need to be intrinsically challenged. The classroom should have low to moderate stress. Your attention needs to be more focused on learning and doing. Now, you know, we have this traditional way of teaching, which is lecture, and that's not really learning or doing. That's just copying. If you're thinking or reading, you have another voice going on your head, and that means you're not listening. So here's what I propose. As teachers of the YWPA, teachers who have MacBooks at the ready, Promethean boards just waiting to be used, and students who also have their own MacBooks or MacBook Airs, it's time to use technology. It's time to get digital. It's time to move forward into 2013. I mean, we're almost there, right? Gardner found that there are 8 multiple intelligences. But there's a new one that's emerging, and that's the digital intelligence. So I propose we use poplet.com. Now, poplet.com sounds like it's fun and it's for little kids. Well, part of that is right. It is kind of fun to use. Check it out. Now, as you can see, Poplet is a great way to organize things, but I took it a little bit further in my own classroom. Now, in the first video, you see my students having a discussion about some current event.
How old is your son? I'm 24. I feel like once my perception is wrong, because just because you animal does not mean you don't double check on things because.
And while they were engaged, and yes, the class was lively, I found that it got a bit chaotic. So I introduced poplet.com into my classroom, and this is what it looked like. I had students lining up to share their ideas. Now, every teacher dreams of a classroom where the students are engaged, where there is lively discussion and meaningful student interaction and deeper learning. But how do you grade such a thing if it's just verbal? So this is why I introduced Poplet. Poplet takes the verbal and makes it into the visual. And it touches on most of the multiple intelligences. In fact, the discussion that we had, which was about whether or not to implement a Buy Nothing Day, I had the pros in blue and I had the cons in red. And the students got to decide what ideas they were sharing. Now, having a verbal discussion, as you saw in my earlier video, is well and great for those of us who love to debate, and I am one of them. However, I have students who need to see, especially since I have second language learners. They need to see what you're saying, if that follows. Poplet allows you to take your idea and to put it where you can see it. And then it allows you to keep branching. You know, like those brainstorms that we learned about when we were younger? Poplet.com would be an excellent addition to your classroom. Be you a science teacher, a social studies teacher, a language arts teacher, a math teacher, any type of teacher. So my fellow colleagues, if you want a classroom where the students are excited about what they can discover, and they feel absolutely unrestricted in their ideas, and it's not going to cost you any money, see what I did there? And go out and log on to poplet.com. It's free. What are you waiting for? Go on, log on.